Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Awaken the World. We are live right now. It is Tuesday, the 19th of January in the year 2021. We're going to talk about knowing what to do and when. Hello, 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 hello. So, first of all, as always, let me express my undying love for you, my acceptance of you just as you are. And this is a state that you must come to be at peace with yourself as well. That no matter where you are right now, it's offering you something. It's offering you evolution, growth, and the experiences you're having right now are going to serve you if you open yourself to look beyond your judgments and look for the gift, the golden egg that the goose has surely laid. So, I'm going to have a little discussion this evening, and as you can see, I'm still toothless. I have an appointment tomorrow, and then based on that appointment, they're going to print some new teeth, and then 2 weeks from them, I'm going to get them. So, yeah, it's going to be February 3rd. It'll be nice to have them. It's been an experience, that's for sure. Knowing what to do and when to do it, or when to do and what to do it, it doesn't really matter which way you look at, is a real conundrum for a lot of people. You know, they're always worried about doing the wrong thing. And that is the underlying core from which this discussion needs to start. It really does. Because of course that's where the rot is down there in the underlying concept subconsciously that you're going to screw this up in some way. Let's take all the pressure off right away. Here's the truth. You can't. You can't screw it up. You just can't. Why? Because no matter how much you try to screw it up, that magnificent, ever evolving, shifting, loving web of life compensates instantly. So I want you to give up the concept that there's anything that you can do wrong. You can't mess this trip up. Now, there's a lot of people who would like to argue about that. And I really question why, in the name of all creation, would you want to be under the idea that you can do something wrong? You can't. You live in a relative universe where no matter what it is you do, it's going to have a consequence. You also live in a totally loving universe where no matter what the consequence of what you choose to do is, there will be a gift, a growing, an evolution within that consequence. This is the compassion of that titanium baseball bat of Shiva, that destructive aspect of God, of creation, that destroys aspects of our lives, not to take away, but to make space. So when we look closely, the greatest thing that gets in the way of what to do and when to do it is our own fear over messing it up. And even if you choose, I can't even tell you the number of times that I perceived that I messed something up, whether it was a relationship or something that I thought I had to do a particular way, or whatever the case may be. And yet, looking back on all those things, I see how, in many cases, thank God I messed it up. Really. I would have hated to see what happens if I didn't mess it up. No matter what it's been in my life, there has been an opportunity to raise my consciousness, to grow and evolve. So I really, really, deeply want you to take this to heart. There is no loving God that judges you. You are a child of creation in the most literal sense possible. And creation's fully aware of it. There is nothing you do here that life does not look upon you as we would look upon a little child. We're not going to beat that little child to death or condemn that little child to an eternity of torture. All over things it does from a lack of awareness. You simply don't know better yet. And even when we think we know better, that doesn't always mean we do better. So, how do you know what to do and when to do it? I have come to the understanding that what to do and when to do it is all a matter of ease. It is not a matter of stress. It is not a matter of schedule. It is a matter of ease. Now, ideas that come about with stress and scheduling and what should be and shouldn't be, that is all a product of the mind. It doesn't actually exist in the material room or realm. If someone comes to you, and the reason I say room is I'm working in the dungeon of our basement where I'm going to be relegated to shortly with my 3D printing and other experimental whatnot that I get up to. And I've been working on that space. And within that realm or that room that I'm in, I have the ability to do whatever it is I wish. But anything that I'm going to do, and this applies to all of life, anything that you're going to do should come easily. And there's a difference between easily of the head and easily of nature. So, for example, a couple of years ago, there was a property that came up for sale on a particular road here in Armstrong, and it was a little commercial property, and it had the possibility of building a residence at the back and using the roof as a huge rooftop garden, and maybe the second floor being partially on the roof. And we were really looking at it. But as we tried to move forward with it, we ran into resistance. The loans officers wanted more and more paperwork and reassurance, and that wasn't looking good. And the cost of engineering was growing astronomical and wasn't looking good. There were all these factors that were pushing against the idea of us taking that building and doing something with it. And, I turned to Kelly one day and I said, this has become too hard. It's no longer easy. It's no longer flowing from one thing to the next. We're pushing and shoving to try and inch this thing forward. We have to let it go. And we did. Turned out to be the best thing ever that we did let it go. This is the way of life, okay? The only difficulty, the only time it's not easy is what you're doing in your own head. Even when you appear to be on a schedule, even when you appear to have a limited amount of time, you will only do as you will do at the speed which you will do it. Letting go of that concept of time, letting go of that concept of should or should not, and letting what you do flow from within you as a natural reaction to what's coming to you in the present moment from a place of stillness. You see, if you're all over in your head, if you're in the past and you're in the future, you're not even really seeing what's coming right now. And that's the main reason why people end up making choices, in other words, choosing what to do and when to do it, without being present. They're often either direction, but they're certainly not here. And when you're right here, right now, you exist in a space where what you're choosing to do and when you're choosing to do it has a vibrational feel to it. It has a rightness to it or a wrongness to it. And I'll tell you how simple this is. You know, the other day, and this is going back a few weeks now, but Kelly used her razor for something that it wasn't meant to be used for. And as she cut herself with it and started bleeding, I commented to her, I said, was there any part of you that actually told you not to do this? And she stopped for a second and she said, you know what? Yeah. But I rolled right over top of it. I wanted that done, and I was going to do it with what was in my hand, no matter what. Even in those littlest things, like making a decision to use a razor or a pair of scissors for the wrong purpose, if you pay close attention, there's a vibrational don't do it. There's a dissonance, a little tiny burp in your consciousness, if you will, that says, And if we're not present, we mow right over top of that. If we're lost in the past or way off into the future, we don't catch our own inner guru's soft spoken, hey, wait a minute, that's not a good idea. Your body's intelligence, your own inner guru, that higher self that you truly are, the combination of this holistic being that you represent will give you all the information you need as to what to do and when to do it, if you can remain present. So if you're lost and confused as to making a choice, stop thinking about it altogether. Bring yourself to a place of stillness, watch your breath for a moment, do some meditation, bring yourself into the present moment, and simply walk yourself through your options here in the present moment, in that state of stillness. And you will begin to feel a response from within you. That guide is with us all the time, and there's no 3 strikes you're out. No matter how many times you will go against that guide's words and go against your own inner wisdom and go ahead and throw yourself on the fire, you will always be picked up. And you will be held responsible, but you will not be blamed and you will not be punished. You are a sacred expression of the divine consciousness, here experiencing itself, looking through a one-of-a-kind filter that we would call the egoic little self, your sense of I. The more that sense of I releases itself, surrenders itself to life, the more expressive and communicative life appears to become, and really, you're just becoming more aware of it. What is the one thing I want you to take out of this tonight? I want you to understand that no matter where your life is going, it is going to reap value. No matter what your opinion of where your life is going, or no matter what your judgment on it is, no matter what your point of view, there is divine purpose to you, and you are fulfilling it in every moment of every day, in every encounter. You get to choose. And when you're struggling with what to do and when to do it, become still and silent. Become present. And fear not, because every step you take is creative. Every thought you make is creative. And life will hold you to those, but will never judge you. You are still a little child in this creation. Life only looks upon you with love and with wonder as you create and expand and begin to spread your wings and come into the powerful truth of who you really are. There's a lot of misinformation out there, a lot of disinformation, a lot of confusion, a lot of deniers, a lot of people who are claiming to be this and claiming to be that and claiming to know things that apparently no one else knows. I would say to you, as I have always said to you, you have the truth within you. That truth is an ever-evolving truth. It is not static. You have your own inner guru. If you choose to look at what I have to say to you, I would ask you, as always, to pay attention to how it vibrates with you. The reason things harmonize with us is we recognize truth. We already know it. We just forgot we know it, but it's there. Much love to you as always. Take good care of yourself. In any situation when you're seeking knowledge and seeking, the information you need as to what to do, take that information from as many reputable sources as possible, meditate upon it, contemplate it, and follow your inner being. Follow your heart. Namaste, much love. We'll talk again very soon. Good night.